Now, Harlan, I had mixed emotions after Fool Me Once, but you didn't fool me twice here. I thoroughly enjoyed Missing You, the limited series that premiered on Netflix on New Year's Day, Harlan. Kudos to you.
Only apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't apply that. Love a bone, give along, leave it. I don't want no trip, baby, spend like
My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? We are back to talk again about the 5-part limited series that premiered New Year's Day, Harlan Coben's Missing You. Now, once I watched it, okay, I originally thought we were going in one direction. I followed the red herring. I went down the primrose path and ended up in some foolishness that I would have never expected. After watching, though, I did go down the rabbit hole as far as Harlan Coben and found out that this is his 9th Netflix property that he has out there. I need to catch up because I feel like I've only seen 2 of his pieces. One was on Prime and it was more YA focused. And then I saw Fool Me Once, which was New Year's last year. And so coming into this, I said, well, it seems woman-centered. It seems Black-centered. I'm here for that. Let's get into it, right? And so as I was reading, though, just about the novel, because of course he is a prolific author, I realized that Kat Donovan's original character was from New York, NYPD officer Kat Donovan. So it was really interesting to me that they had changed locales and that now we're in the UK. But again, I'm not opposed to a UK moment, okay? I feel sensibilities. I am here for that. This actually, like I said, is what I say that I want when I want a mystery type thriller situation. Although it was not perfect, okay? I felt there were lulls in the center and it did have a hard start for me. It took me a while to really get ingratiated to the story and the characters, baby. But once I was there, those last 2 episodes, chef's kiss. And maybe going forward, we can work on keeping that momentum throughout the entire series. But y'all, I enjoyed it. Let's first, though, dive into this cast because I was here for it, okay? We are out with Rosalind Eleazar, who plays Kat Donovan, who is, I'll say she's 30-something, right? She's a 30-something detective in the UK, and she is kind of dealing this present moment, kind of finding happened to her father. And this is really her last chance. Her father was also on the force and he was unalived ages ago. They have the unaliver in custody, but he's sick and he's on his way out. Okay. And so she deals with that. You know, she's trying to date. She comes home and gets to swipe or no swiping, okay, on Tinder, the apps, all right, and comes across this man, top boy, bruv, who left her 8 years ago, jilted her after proposing. And she's like, who this? Song Prince, okay, aka Josh. We meet Richard Armitage, who plays Sergeant Ellis Stagger, who was her father's partner and is still on the force and kind of has a eye and looks out over her, okay? Then if we have Josh Buchanan, who is her ex-love interest, who jilted her, honey, who Dear John'd her, who took all his raggedy duffel bag and left her, played by Ashley Walters, and you know him from Top Boy, more than likely. Then we have James Nesbitt, who plays Callaghan, an Irish mobster, who they led us down this road and he ain't have nothing to do with it. Foregone conclusion. Then we have Mary Malone as Aqua, who is her good friend, who's trans, who is inexplicably tied to all of this by the end of the story, we find out. We also meet Jessica Plummer as Stacy, who is just another good friend, but who's a private eye, who actually is kind of important to the story because she's the one who gets Kat access to talk to this unaliver, right? Who allegedly took out the father. We have Brigid Singai as Odette, who plays Kat's mother. We have Charlie Hamblett as Charlie Parker, baby, and I ain't trust him. I ain't trust him from the beginning, and I was wrong. Okay, and you know him from Killing Eve. Finally, we have Mark Warren as Monty LeBurn, who is the unaliver, or so we think. And I know him from The Good Wife, honey. He was Kalinda's crazy ex-husband from the UK and gave everything you needed. We have Lenny Henry as Clint Donovan. We have her father, Lenny Henry, plays Clint Donovan. Donovan is played by Lenny Henry, and Steve Pemberton plays Titus, and this is the mastermind of a whole grift, a story within the story, and we'll get to know him more. And then we use the grift within the grift. Okay. We also have Oscar Kennedy as Brendan, who actually helps us get closer to the answers as far as this grift, but not as far as it relates to getting her man back. Okay. Because that's a whole other thing within itself. So spoilers ahead. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it and then come back and let's talk about it. Okay. But this for the people who've watched it, and we're going to be doing a live tomorrow on this on January 7th. And we will be going at this whole series and talking about the ins and outs, what we liked, what we didn't like. Y'all know what a live is like over here. Okay, it's a good time. All right. So be there or be square. But let's get into it. So again, Kat is on a date as the series opens up. And with this gym guy, it wasn't a vibe for me. It wasn't at all. And she's breaking up fights in the kitchen. And I was like, ma'am, there's knives, there's I need to get out of the harm's way. All right, I need you to use a weapon immediately because this man is wielding a knife. There's no talking him down off the edge. He done already sliced up some of his compadres in the kitchen. Girl, do what you need to do, okay? And so we kind of see her in the office, and just watching her, you can still see that Kat, even though she's a detective, she's been on the force for a while, she still is kind of living father's shadow based on everyone else. Again, the LeBurn character, who we think unalived her father, who's gone down for it, is a hired hitman. All right. And so she feels as though she still doesn't have answers as to why her father was taken out. And so that's really the overarching story outside of the story in this series, is her wanting to find justice for the father, find out who really did this. And so he's on his deathbed, and of course she can't visit him. He won't see her because although we discover he didn't unalive her father, he is still hell in the paint. Okay, he's still in the paint. So that's one side of the story going on, and it's pressing because he's on his way out of this earthly realm. Okay, as that's gone though, she gets home because she still has an active dating life. She still gave that man at the restaurant some cootenanny because she said, "Why waste a good night?" You know what I mean? And so she's scrolling and comes across Song Prince 87 or whatever his username was. And it is Josh, the man who Dear John'd her all these years ago. And she's like, should I match with him? What is he doing here? She calls the whole collective, honey. Let me call all of my friends and see what they have to say about this situation. Should I give them some play? Should I get closer? She even went to her mama. Her mama got to embrace her and let her know what time it is. And so as the story progresses, we're finding out more about that while she's still on this quest. She interviews LeBurn, and the nurse has pity on her, baby, because he's not telling her anything. And she basically gives him some truth serum. And he finally says he thinks he's talking to his baby sister and is like, listen, I didn't do it, baby. I didn't. There's more to the story. I took the fall for it. I did. All right. But that one I didn't do. And so now her wheels are turning even more because was it a cover up? Is there something more sinister? What's really going on? While all this is happening, she is approached by a young man whose mother is missing in his mind, not according to everybody else, because everybody else sees her on ATM cameras. They see her in different locations. She's fine. But he says, no, this is not my mama. My mama checks on me. Okay. And she knows where I am. Baby, we find out that not only the mama, but this Indian man that we meet in the very beginning who's running for his life are all a part of this grift led by Titus, okay? Titus is mastermind where basically he catfishes people and then he gets the people, he blackmails the people basically and gets all their money. And then he unalives them. So it's not even just that. He raises dogs, he breeds dogs, and he lives people. He keeps them in the kennels and he does everything he can do. And so now Kat is on this case because the son is adamant something's happened to my mother. And I know this because my mama was dating your man. The same man who matched with you, your man that left you. And she said, hold on, slow down 10 speed. So apparently they've been using Josh's photo to catfish a number of people, a number of women and others, right? And getting to precarious situations so that they can steal their money and unalive them. And so that's kind of the we're trying to break throughout the entire series, right? And so we get closer. The mama, it was a G. Old boy's mama, who was held captive, was the smartest one of them all. But again, now the grifters know Kat's a detective. We tried to play the wrong one. We need to find out what she knows. But in the meantime, of course, the son gets caught in the middle of it. They're still in trying to investigate the outer, appearance. And she's still worried about who unalived her daddy, especially now that we know that LeBurn didn't do it, right? He just got the money for it. And so again, a lot of cloak and dagger as we go through this. And this is where the lull kind of happened. Like you're chasing in the middle of all this, right? Friends are looking not quite like friends. And if you know anything about Harlan Coben, you know that this is a mechanism that he uses in a lot of his storytelling, baby. Nothing and no one are as they appear. Okay. So as we get into episodes 4 and 5, we're finally getting to the culmination of things, honey. They kidnapped the little boy because the mama done got away. She done let all the captives out of captivity. Okay. She was her Moses on, right? She was the deliverer. However, now Titus got her son and got him at Blicky Point. All right. But what they didn't know is Kat was up the street from Titus or from the boy when he got snatched. And so she was on her way to the farm. So we have the mama going to try to get the son. It's a whole big escapade. All right. And finally we get rid of that part of the story. Josh ain't have nothing to do with that. He wasn't part of that. But Kat eventually finds Josh. She tracks him down because he's writing a newsletter, honey. His daddy was going to the post office picking up the checks. Well, she follows, gets the address, honey, finds out that Josh got a whole child because he done moved on. It wasn't a problem. And he's living with his dad in the countryside, the beautiful countryside. And she's like, what happened, Josh? What's going on? Why are you on the apps? Well, I ain't on the apps. I didn't do none of that. That's not my business. Okay, maybe we just said it right there. What's done, it's in the past. It's all of the things. Child, then truth starts to come out when we get connected back with Josh and re-enter Aqua at this moment. Okay, we come find out that Kat's daddy was living a double life, honey. He was on the DL and there were rumors. Apparently the mama knew. I think the mama knew the whole time the man was cheating on her, but he was all in love with the whole other man. He was in love with a man. All right. And so he and his boyfriend are out one night and just happened to see Aqua, who's a part of the community. Okay. She's living her best life. And Aqua sees, and Clint Donovan can't let it ride. Clint said, I can't let it ride, baby, following Aqua like a maniac. We also find out that Aqua and Josh were roommates for a time and really good friends. Actually, that's how he met Kat, right? And so, Clint follows Aqua home and is like, you can't say nothing. She's like, I'm not going to say nothing, but you need to. Tell your wife, you need to tell your daughter. They love you. They'll support you. No, you don't understand. I've been covering this up my whole life. And actually, that's how he was in with the mobsters doing their dirty work, which is why we're getting into the cover up, right? Because they knew his secret and he didn't want his secret out by any means necessary. And he basically told Aqua, you're living a different time. They think it's cute for you. It's not going to be so cute for me. All right. So I need you to stop. And so basically he attacks her. Aqua got to fight back. Josh comes in to try to break it up because Dad, what's going on? You're going to be my father-in-law. What's happening? Baby, one thing led to another and they had to take Clint out. But you need to take Clint out. Clint was damn unhinged, living a lie, telling all of the lies to everyone. And that's how he went out. Stagger got there and helped him cover it up. And so Josh got Josh back to bed before she knows all this, right? She's smashing and dashing. He about to get in the tub. And then it all comes out and she act like she can't deal with it. But she was ready to take him back and do all the things because you can't pass up love. You can't do that. Okay, girl. That's the only part probably with the ending I was like, really? And then what's going to happen now? Was your quest really for justice or for answers? I don't know. You guys be the judge of that. Let me know what you thought in the comments of it. Again, to start the year, this was a decent series. Like I said, episodes 4 and 5, I was clutching my pearls. They had me gagged. Okay, truly. I think it was worth a watch, but you guys let me know your thoughts below. If you have not already, what are you doing? Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, the Discord. Child, do all the things, all right? Because the goal this year is 10K. We're almost at 6, so it's not a foregone conclusion. I know we can do, I think we can do better than 10K, but that's just what I'm setting it at right now. But you guys, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to check out the live tomorrow night or Tuesday, whenever you're watching this, and join us for the live discussion. I thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.